This week on the show, we have Canadian rapper and singer, bbno. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for watching. This show's all about giving you insights and showcasing brands that help you to live your best life and give you confidence. As always, I want to kickstart your morning with some motivational advice to help you to feel inspired and energized to start your day. Today, I want to talk about the importance of understanding that you are more powerful than you think. The reality is, life's challenges can often discourage us or make us feel that we have no control over our circumstances. Of course, there are some things that are surely out of our control, like the weather and other people's actions or behaviors. But there are many things that we have 100% control over and which dictate the quality of our lives, which is our attitudes and how we respond to life. Successful people understand that there is great power in their beliefs and actions. They walk through life harnessing their personal power, knowing that their mindset and core beliefs shape their reality. Remember, your greatest power lies in having a great mindset and believing you can achieve anything you set your mind to. You are the director, producer, and scriptwriter of your life, and you decide how the story goes. As the saying goes, you have the power to change your life, and all you have to do is decide. Stay tuned. Coming up after the break, your song It Boy, you talk about being the Gen Z Eminem, and I think Eminem reached out to you directly, right? He sent you a DM. Tell us about that. That's pretty epic.
It was pretty sick. I mean, like, obviously growing up, I had no expectations of ever being like a successful musician, and then having Eminem reach out to me. So, kind of fascinating, like how the world works like that. When I wrote that song, I was like, I wonder if he's going to hear this song. So It was very serendipitous, once again.
Wardrobe provided by Le Chateau. Next up on the show is Canadian rapper and songwriter, bbno. Alex, thank you so much for being on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am doing amazing. I'm excited to have you on the show. I'm a big fan of your music, so it's exciting to have you on the show.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
But before we get into your success as an artist, bbno, let's bring it back to the beginning. I know that your mom encouraged you to play the piano at a young age. So when did you develop a passion for music?
Wow, you deep dove on the podcast or the interviews.
Yeah, I'm a pro.
Interestingly enough, I didn't really fall into making music and falling in love with making music very fast. My brother, he made music when he was in high school, and I was like, oh, this is cool, this is interesting. But I never really found a passion for it. But I started writing poetry. I broke my back, and then I started writing poetry. And basically, the poetry just turned into lyrics, whether or not because poetry is kind of open to interpretation, and I was never super, super good at articulating how I was feeling, but I could articulate how I'm feeling through nothingness, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So basically I use music as an outlet. If I'm having a really bad day, I'll just line up a session and just go make music. It's like a coping factor mechanism. But yeah, basically started making music. I was never that musically inclined. As a homeschooled individual, and my mom homeschooled me, I feel like I was more readily available to learn at a different rate or learn at a different pace. And that, I think, gave me the ability to have a lot of creativity and uniqueness as a person. So then that personality comes out via my music, because it's just me accentuating Alex as much as possible, which is what bbno basically is.
That's amazing that you use it as an outlet to, express yourself. I know that you wanted to be a professional swimmer, but an injury held you back. So tell us about that period in your life and how you navigated through that.
So I feel like not many people understand the psychological effects of injury. So I ended up proceeding, and after I broke my back, which is what I just said, after I broke my back, I ended up proceeding to go get a degree in kinesiology, because there was something that not any textbook could ever teach you about actually being empathetic about physical ailments, because no one can actually feel that. Mm-hmm. You can't walk up to a client or a patient and be like, hey, I can feel your pain. Mm-hmm. But if you've been through a traumatic injury, you can feel their pain. You can be like, it doesn't even matter. If you don't actually have anything wrong with you, you are struggling. So it's there's way more of a psychological precedence that it sets on your like everyday life and quality of life. So basically, I just went to school because I wanted to learn about it, because I knew about it. It didn't really set me back, actually. It actually put me in a really good headspace to be safer with my body and like do things that I exclusively wanted to do. And through breaking my back, I had a girlfriend. She cheated on me, and then I ended up deciding to become an artist because I had so many feelings that I couldn't actually articulate. And I think I poured it all into music, and I'm in this place today on an interview with you. So
that's true. I like that you poured your emotions into something positive, because I mean, going through an experience like that, as you said, can be traumatizing. You can feel really isolated. So I love that you put it into a positive way and that it actually made you a success. I want to talk about your success. I know in 2016 you started posting on SoundCloud and you started getting millions of views. How was it seeing that people were really connecting with your music and you as an artist?
Sometimes I still have no idea, frankly. I'm obviously so blessed to be in the position I'm in, and obviously I always want more. Everyone always wants more. Like that's just like the capitalistic tendencies of a human being, and like also another tendency of a human being that is like, oh, I need to just constantly work. North American culture. Yeah. Do I know why and how I ended up actually believing in myself enough? No idea. It was delusions of grandeur for sure. And I just was like, I'm having fun making music. It makes me feel good. It doesn't matter if it's good. And I did it all for the right reasons. And just basically from the get-go, I was just like, damn, this is something I want to do for a very long time. And I know that deep down. And that was kind of it. I just fell in love with the art of making music and putting music out. And I'm here. It's interesting because it's like kind of serendipitous and it's so simple. And everyone's always like, oh, how did you do it? How'd you do this? How'd you do that? But I literally just made music and put it out. And I got better over time. That was it. So
yeah.
Pretty forward.
Well, you followed your passion. I feel like when you follow your passion, that's when amazing things happen, right? And because you're doing things for the right reason, success aligns. So sometimes that just happens. And I want to talk about some of your hit singles, La La La, Andamame, It Boy. I mean, I think you received 495 million streams on Spotify for Indamame and over almost 1 billion for La La La. What do you think the secret to your success has been, if you can name 3 things?
I don't know. I mean, I'm always trying to do something new for myself. I make music. I think I have good taste. I think that's it. I think that's really like it boils down to I understand what makes a hit record. And I I can go listen to a hit song and be like, oh, this is why it's so fire. Like, this is why people like it. And I feel like I have a good understanding of that. Sometimes, like my music doesn't hit, but it's also like time and place. Like, there's so many small little factors that make a big song bigger or a good song big. I don't know. I've just always been like a proponent of like, if it feels good, if it makes you feel something, it'll make other people feel something too. And I think that's just like, that's the fundamentals. It's kind of like it's like when someone asks you like, what type of food do you like? And you say good food.
Yeah.
It's kind of like objective. When you make a song that is like objectively like enjoyable to listen to, or it makes you feel something, then no one can bring that down. No one can tell you otherwise. Like, then even if people like don't like the song, people like anyone can be like, nah, there's something, it evokes a feeling and it evokes emotion, whether or not it's like a sad emotion or a fun emotion or like I want to go up and go for a walk emotion. That's something that I've been able to recognize in my music. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I really like this song and I really think this is where it's gonna hit, and I double down on songs, and basically I just got good at marketing sometimes, and then you get lucky. That's it, a lot of luck.
Yeah. Speaking about marketing, I like that you connect with your fans on like TikTok, you do funny videos on Instagram. So how important is it for you to connect with your fans on social media?
See, if I could connect with every single fan all at the same time, I would, because that would be dope. I would be able to have like millions of people all in one singular place at one time. It would be amazing,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it's hard. I mean, like, I'm an advocate of doing the least on social media in order to have it be a vessel for people to hear my music. Basically, I use social media as a means to an end, and I think it allows me to like have a little bit of like a healthier relationship with it. Even though like obviously sometimes I get frustrated, sometimes there's this, sometimes there's that. I think just being able to connect with my fans, I think the reason why you may think that is because I'm so easily accessible. Like you can look at my page and be like, oh, it's really just some dude that like loves the internet and loves being Goofy Boy, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, and he also makes music. Someone just posted me on something on their Instagram story, and it was this girl saying, why can't people just understand that this guy is just a goofy online kid that objectively makes good music?
Yeah.
That's it. That's really it. Like, and it's kind of crazy because sometimes I'm like, damn, I actually do make dope music. Whether or not like it means anything, it doesn't mean anything. But it's just all fun and games. Like it's really good walking music. If you ever want to go for a nice walk, go listen to some Baby No Money.
And Alex, many Canadian artists find it really difficult to break into the American market. How do you think you've been able to do so?
Well, I mean, there's also just like the population thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's bound to be at least 10 times more artists. And then if there's 10 times more artists, it's just 10 times more potentially successful artists as well. So, you know, I'm actually still not that big in America. I would say It Boy was my first song that actually did move the needle a little bit in the American market. I feel like Edamame blew up in like Indonesia and Southeast Asia, and then La 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 blew up in like all the South Americas. So it's cool where you can see music and how it like it transgresses through like a culture or like a region of the world. But I mean, like, I'm obviously speaking relatively modestly here. Like I've actually been able to do some pretty dope stuff with my career and my life. So how did I do it? I have no idea. It's also like the proponent of just make some good music. Even if you don't like my music, I don't care. I like my music and I think it's good.
Yeah.
Majority of the time. And that's what is important. If you can make music that people can feel, that makes them feel something, then you've already won. I guess that's all that matters. And you know, especially in this day and age, like social media and TikTok, like it's so like almost unrewarding to a point where if you post something and it just doesn't do well, it literally doesn't mean your song is bad. It's just it's not getting picked up in like a mathematical equation that they have devoted 400 tech people on their sales side to understand why like tech might not work. Yeah. So it's interesting. Being an artist in this day and age is like I'm not only an artist, I'm a personality. I'm not only a personality and an artist, I'm like a content creator. I'm not only all of those three, I'm also Alex, and I'm also working on myself like emotionally, and it's like I am dealing with like 5 full-time careers. And it's super interesting because I never expected being an artist to be like this. So, but at the same time, I got to count my blessings. My parents are proud. My family's healthy right now. I think I'm healthy. I should probably get a couple things checked. But hey, we're alive and it doesn't really matter, right?
Well, hopefully you're not Baby No Money anymore. Hopefully you made some money, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about your new music. I know you're dropping new music on Friday, so tell us about it.
So with the success of It Boy, typically what would happen, at least for me, this is like very Baby No Money style of cadence of type of music that I would release. But basically, let's say I put out like a soul song. The next song would be like a ballad. And then the next song after a ballad would be like a drum and bass record. So I've always been very, very invested in just doing something new every time. But this is like the first time I've done something very similar. Like almost not copying, but like just similar. Like the idea, the concept, everything is like pretty similar. So It Boy, very upbeat, fun song with like a female vocal sample. And then this new song called Two, I got like a kids choir on it, and it's very, very upbeat with a crazy beat that's almost, I would say, leaning more towards like a drum and bass / like UK inspiration. And it's cool because there's similarities, but they're very different. One's more like alternative, one's more pop. And I think I shot like the greatest music video I've ever shot without question. Baby No Money music video. So it's called Two, and every 2 seconds there's a new shot.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's mayhem. It's like an actual movie. It took like 4.5 days of like 19-hour days back to back, and it was absolutely exhausting. But I'm really proud of it. I really hope it connects. And that's basically it. That's all I can do is hope.
Well, we're excited to see it. Your song It Boy, you talk about being the Gen Z Eminem, and I think Eminem reached out to you directly, right? He sent you a DM. Tell us about that. That's pretty epic.
It was pretty sick. I mean, like, obviously growing up, I had no expectations of ever being like a successful musician, and two, and then having Eminem reach out to me. So, kind of fascinating, like how the world works like that. When I wrote that song, I was like, I wonder if he's going to hear this song. So It was very like serendipitous once again.
That's amazing. I mean, that must have been a proud moment. And, Alex, I created my platform to inspire, to uplift, and really to showcase success stories like yours, that anything is possible if you have a dream, a vision, and passion. So, for anyone that's watching that maybe is, they're working hard on their goals, but they're not seeing things progress. Maybe they're getting discouraged or they're losing hope. What would you say to inspire and uplift them?
Are we talking about like an artistic perspective or just like
just for anybody, because I know for you, I'm sure when you were, pursuing your dream as a swimmer and then, you had an obstacle hit you, I'm sure that, it took a lot of resilience to get through that. So maybe that's someone that's going through something like that, where you're going through a difficult time and they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like, because sometimes you can give too much advice and it doesn't do anything. But honestly, what I would say is like, I would say fundamentally, my main thing is it's like, life's gonna beat you down. You just have to keep getting back up. And like, no matter what, nothing is going to be easy. And like, life is exclusive. Like once you get past like the age of like 13, life is exclusively an obstacle that you need to figure out how to manipulate in your favor, basically. And I think just accepting that and being like okay with like where life takes you and detaching and depersonalizing from like all the errors and the mistakes and the heartbreaks and this and that, like you just gotta be like, I am who I am, and I'm gonna do the best as I can in everything that I do and show up. Because no matter what, every single person on this planet is trying to do the exact same. Obviously, there's some takes where some people are cuckoo bananas, but I'm talking about the general public of people who are trying to be like a better person. So just never give up. That's really it. Like if you believe in something, you believe in yourself, just never give up.
I think that's great advice, and it's simple advice, but it's so true, because every single successful person that I've interviewed, it's really, they didn't give up. They just kept going. They followed their passion. They had a relentless belief in themselves, and eventually things clicked. And that's literally what they say, is they just never gave up. So I think that's simple advice, but it's accurate advice. And Alex, what else are you working on right now? What else are your current projects?
So I have a clothing line called Fun Job. I'm working on that. Right now we've done 2 drops. It's like an intro to high fashion with a very fun, colorful play on it. That is like Baby No Money-ified, so it's very fun, upbeat, goofy, and we do like a drop every 2 months. So that's really fun. It's a lot more difficult than I expected it to be, making like really high quality garments. Not an easy task. Don't recommend it. Other than that, like I'm really working on myself. Basically in the past 3 hours before this, I was like crying, working on myself. Like I did therapy, and I feel like the hyper stigmatization of where therapy is at right now. I think everything is a little too over therapized, and everyone speaks about it too much. But I do think it's never too late to like repair a relationship that is broken, or repair like your well-being as much as you possibly can, so you can be the best person you possibly can for the other relationships in your life. So that's what I'm working on too. I got like 100 songs in the bank, just like kind of filtering through, just trying to make the best of the best of the best, so I can make really an incredible album. But other than that, got some music videos on the way, got some songs, singles, just trying to really hone in, being a little bit more intentional, and just like fall in love with doing what I do more and more. And that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
Amazing. I like that you said you're working on yourself. I think that's so important. You have to work on yourself, because the quality of your thoughts and your mind is really the quality of your life, right? If you don't have a good mindset and you're not working on yourself, then life is not going to be good no matter how much success you have. So I like that you said that. I think that's very important. But congratulations, Alex, on all your success. It's really nice to see a fellow Canadian doing so well, and we hope to have you back on the show soon.
Yeah, anytime. Call me out. Whatever works.
The Darriel Roy Show is available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts.